Good morning, all. Let's see. Iran foreign minister announces the strait is open. There's so much going on, guys. So much craziness going on out there. Heck, I mean, the IMF announced they're going to start working with Venezuela again. Things are changing quickly. D Church, happy pre birthday. Hello, one grumpy dog. Hello, Sissy. Hello, Lalise. Hello, Tinkerbell. Kelly, Dagoo. Hello. Hello, Triumphant. C. Mondano. Jerry. See, the crew is here. It's a good day to be grateful and alive. Yes, it is. Absolutely. If you're like me, you're getting to that age where you're tired all the time, bloated after every meal, no amount of water seems to help, then listen up. But recently, I was dealing with this, so decided to call my friend Dr. Josh for some help. Told him what was going on. His response shocked me. Dehydrated liver. He said I was showing all those telltale signs. Not dehydrated like I need to drink more water. He told me it was actually part of the problem. You see, most people think hydration is just about drinking enough water. Here's what Dr. Josh explained to me. Your liver's your body's main hydration organ. Your liver cells, if they're not getting enough water at the cellular level, doesn't matter how many glasses you drink a day, the water just runs right through you. And when your liver's dehydrated, everything suffers. Your energy tanks, your digestion slows down, you bloat, you hold on to stubborn weight, your skin looks dull, you feel decades older than you actually are. Plain water can't fix this on its own. And most electrolytes are just sugar and salt that completely ignore your liver. That's why Dr. Josh, practicing doctor with over 25 years of medical expertise, created a daily hydration drink called LTV. Not just another electrolyte powder. LTV combines a clinical dose of marine electrolytes with taurine to help your cells actually hold on to water, plus milk thistle and dandelion root to support your liver's natural detox function. He told me LTV has already helped thousands of people and has received incredible reviews from customers who noticed results fast. So when I'd heard enough, time to give that a try. So I ordered some. Last few weeks, been drinking it regularly. It's really making a difference. Happy to report. Saying goodbye to constant bloating, afternoon crashes, dried out, foggy feeling. Saying hello to real energy, smoother digestion, body that feels hydrated. First time in years. Stuff's powerful. Feeling better in a short period of time. But again, you're not going to get results like this from any electrolyte or regular electrolyte drink out there, or just by drinking more water. Dr. Josh put his 25 plus years of experience into LTV to make certain it delivers, actually delivers real cellular hydration, not just expensive pee. So if you're ready to hydrate your liver at the cellular level and feel the difference in your energy, your digestion, your waistline, just go to drinkltv.com/MarkZ to get your hands on it today. And it's your lucky day because he's got up to 64% off of LTV for a limited time. Deal's only available through that link. It's in the description on YouTube. It's on the description in Rumble. Easier to click the description than to remember that whole drinkltv.com/MarkZ. Hello, Richard. Jason, we're still here. Let's see if we can get through this thing. I just hope all the rumors running around on the bond side are accurate. Steve, I know. Boy, I tell you, I've got a list of about 5,000 people that need to be called back. It's tough when your free time is measured in minutes in a week. Thank you, C. Maldonado. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, how do you do it, guys? Don't send me videos. I love you all. I dearly love you all. But if it's more than 2 or 3 minutes, I can't watch it. You're going to have to give me cliff notes. In an ideal, magical, mystical world with rainbows and unicorns, I would have time to watch and answer all the emails you guys send me. But that's not the world we live in. Thousands unanswered every week because it's humanly impossible. And no, I don't want somebody else to answer the emails for me. No, I don't want to set up a cool system to manage them. I just want them to stop. Only the necessaries. Gurus, hopefully they'll have some warm and fuzzies. A relaxing weekend. Jason, free time. Huh? In 2 weeks, my free time will be while I'm sleeping. Exactly. I mean, it's a great. I would love to be able to read them all. I'd love to be able to respond to them all, but that's just it's not realistic. JCB, original MarkZ, please continue to pray for communities around the flooding rivers. Many evacuated from cities, towns along the rivers. It's bad, more severe weather today. Also, Dave's been sending me some pictures from Michigan and some of the flooding there. Yeah, Manhattan born, I do. I'm not mad at you guys for sending them. Just only send it if the world is going to end if you don't. If it's that important. Although I've got a couple of you guys that help me with news, I definitely need you to keep sharing. Mitchell, 187 emails. I mean, it's worth a try. I try desperately hard to answer as many as I can. I do. Oh, that hurt. But it's just not possible. And then I get people just mad at me for not watching a 2-hour video and telling them what my thoughts are in detail in an email. And I'm just like, what are you looking for? I don't have that much time for my children, and I love them. They're my life. So if I got to pick the 2-hour video you want me to watch, or I get to pick a FaceTime with the kids, I'm taking the FaceTime with the kids. Always. 100% of the time. What's the 10? Oh, guys. I don't know how you take the weather. It is getting warmer. The original Scott C. I like that one, man. I like that one. Let's see. What's the weather here today? We have been getting a lot of rain. So let's see. It's 80 now. High is expected to be 82 with some afternoon rain around 4 or 5 and then clear for the evening. Really is beautiful weather here just about all the time. Doesn't the rate need to be revealed for bonds to be paid? Craig, for a currency group to get paid, they would need to reveal the rates. For them to pay the bonds, no, they don't need to reveal the rate. Do I think they're going to reveal the rate after covering the bonds? Yes. Very much so. We're time. Okay, 10:08. We got it. 56 clumps of snow. What? Sarah, where are you at? We are 56 with clumps of new snow falling. Some cold air up top. American Patriot Dow's at 49,39403 plus 815. Not going to crash ever. It's going to crash. But it's completely disconnected. Wall Street disconnected from Main Street. Many years ago, it pretty much completed it, in my opinion, when BlackRock went live with Aladdin. Hey, do you guys remember that? It was like around 2015, 2016, somewhere in there. The federal government was closed. The market was supposed to be closed. Somebody forgot to program the AI that runs the market now, and it just opened up as if it was a regular business day, started trading stocks back and forth. That's when any illusion that it wasn't an illusion was gone for me. The market was running, but the market was closed. There weren't human beings in charge. The machine just started running the market. The algorithms run the market. Traders now manipulate just so they make the algorithms kick in so they can make a quick buck before a human figures it out and interrupts. It's crazy. Frank, the markets have to crash to bring in the new system. Yep. Kelly is saying that Wisconsin is having flash flooding as well and needs prayers. Jay and Amy, quick question to our ex-current prime minister. I don't know if the prime minister was necessary to sign that deal, but a deal was signed with Ernst & Young on Tuesday to deeper bank audits, pretty much run the banks for foreign transfers so that they are KYC compliant and able to use any of the new messaging systems for payment. In other words, international, and to get 2 of their major state-owned banks up to snuff as quickly as possible. Yeah, that did happen. The 5 Spartans were screwed if the military doesn't take over for the reset. No, not necessarily. There are a number of ways this thing could play out. We're all hoping that they do it the right way and they don't wait until it crashes. KC. A lot of people out there, guys, and there's a lot of uncertainty. We're living in an uncertain world. I understand why they email me. They're just looking for a little sanity. I just wish I had enough time to give everybody a little bit of sanity. It's the number of people that email looking for a private update because they don't have time to watch the podcast that drive me nuts. They drive me nuts. They assume that because they don't have time, that I have plenty of time to answer. 4 million people a month. I know that's crazy, isn't it? 4 million people a month watch. Like on an average month. Some months way more, rarely ever under that. That is nuts. I can't answer that many. I'd love to. God knows I'd love to be able to give everybody a good personal, fuzzy, feel good update, answer all your individual questions. That's why I do it on the podcast. It's the only possible way to reach as many people with the least amount of effort as possible. That sounds bad. WrestleMania. Oh, that's going to be fun. Original D-Fly. Just don't tell them that it's not real. Don't tell them Original D-Fly. Don't let them know. I know too many professional wrestlers to have any illusions. Should just, yeah. Okay, where are we at? Let's have some fun. I'm very upbeat, guys. I am very upbeat. I am hopeful and praying that the news that we're hearing is accurate. And I'll start right there. Number of bond contacts have been keeping me somewhat abreast of their meetings throughout the week. They're saying just, ecstatic. Some of the groups that had not heard anything have had some ecstatic. I just hope they're right. Rumors running around there from a few of my bond contacts. Now, what's going to be real, what's going to be not, we'll find out next week. I know we're tired of hearing next week. But they're reporting that a couple of them, the paymaster, the attorneys handling the bond redemption for some of the groups, have been funded and they're allowed to distribute next week. That's the rumor. I'm going to treat it as total rumor until somebody I personally know at a real shake their hand, have sat over dinner with them and eaten, friends that have their bond money from their paymasters or their attorneys and group attorneys in their account spendable. That's when I'm going to lose it and come out and do a really fun podcast. Is that the rumor? The rumors are just running nuts from the bond side right now that money in accounts for the leaders of the groups with supposedly very specific instructions on that distribution next week. And I'm just leaving it there for now, right? Aneurysm time. Wait, where did I catch that one? Hold on, man. I missed that one. Mika, right? It might be. Bill, I don't know what to tell you on the Hungarian Pingo. I have some. Some of you guys have even given me some. I don't have much, but I figured it was worth the gamble, right? It was cheap. I don't know what to tell you. I can't get a single banker that will give me a comment on the Hungarian Pingo. Wrestling's as real as politics. Dazzo? 0007? Stirred, not shaken, or shaken, not stirred. I don't know which it is. You are so right. I think wrestling is more real than politics. It's fun, though. If you want to have some fun, go to a professional wrestling. If you want to have a lot of fun, go to a local, kind of like a semi-pro wrestling thing. Those things are so much fun. They are. Just the only benefit to humanity from that is a diversion. It's like it's a circus, it's the Coliseums, it's whatever. But at least the people watching it know Zim, I keep hearing good things. I got a couple of people in Zim groups at the leadership level, and they're very upbeat still. Very upbeat. You need an auto pen in the email, right? Soccer. Wait, what about soccer? One of my favorite sports. All right, where are we? Let's keep running. Yeah, I'm still upbeat about the African currencies moving forward after this thing. I don't know what to tell you on Venezuela. I'm feeling better about them making massive progress. I don't know if I am positive they are going to be. I can't, I hear that it is. I hear that it isn't. I hear that it is. I hear that it isn't. I don't know what to tell you on Venezuelan currency, whether it's going to be when the first basket goes or not, or where they're at timeline wise. I can't get anything that I consider concrete. I can't even get like a pine 2x4 that's like curvy from Home Depot or Lowe's and been picked through a number of times of info on that front as to whether yes or no. Uh-oh. Kirkout in the World Cup. Population 160,000. That's awesome. Chef Patriot, Kurdistan region, Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani has secured the required majority support with the Shiite coordination framework to remain in office for another term. Chef, this is a good time. We got the news banner up. Chef, are you spying on me? Do you have a camera in here? Have you taken over my computer? Because, dude, you just stole my thunder. I'm just kidding, Chef Patriot. What Chef Patriot is reporting is what is being reported in Iraqi news over at Rudall, I believe it is, for the source on this one. Prime Minister Sudani's bloc says he secured majority backing for second term bid. Erbil, Kurdistan region, Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani has secured the required majority support within the Shiite coordination framework to remain in office for another term. A senior member of the incumbent premier bloc told Rudall. We'll find out. That ruling alliance, rumor on the street as of this morning is he has secured the majority. Now, we're hopeful that we're going to find out. Wait a minute. I didn't have that. I didn't put that article up. The next one was just an article saying that they have every intention of completing this on Saturday now that they have reached that decision within their framework. I'll look for it and see if I can include it when I do the links. Again, folks, I want to remind folks, if you want to read what or look for yourself the information, I share the articles we discuss. I share where the information comes from that we discuss so that you can do your own research as well. Just go to the original MarkZ.com, whichever transcript not transcript, but whatever one you're looking for links, click on that video. The links of what we discuss, where the information came from, is down underneath in their links for the day. All right, where are we at? Let's keep moving now. Yeah, that Chef Patriot, that's a big one. That is a big one. Iraq's among the most stable Arab countries in terms of inflation rate in 2026. About 3%, much lower than the overwhelming majority of its neighbors. Of course, much lower than Sudan at 74%, Egypt 13.2%, inflation, Tanzania 6.5%. Oman only 1.7, Bahrain 2.4, Kuwait 2.8. I mean, we're talking about stable or stable in today's definitions. Why is that important? Governments kept telling us they can't delete zeros, they can't change rates until they're stable. What have we seen with all the unrest in the Middle East, with all the craziness over the last couple of years? Who has slain that beast? Who has one of the most stable currencies on the planet right now? I know it's crazy, isn't it? It's Iraq. Any truth to the UN granting immunity to banking to the World Bank BIS Heritage family to allow GCR? No, I'm not seeing that anyway. I don't know if it's true or not, Al. I have not seen it referenced from anybody I consider plugged in or knowledgeable on this event. Not saying it hadn't happened, just none of my sources have mentioned it. So I was excited about this one. There is a poo-poo article out there from a guest blogger about how rates aren't going to change. And we'll probably touch on that one at some point too, because they make a lot of assumptions and they disprove themselves often, and they also present some very solid stuff as well. So you got to like look at it and make your own decisions. Half a ton of gold imported via Baghdad airport in 2 days. Hmm. The people in Iraq, the people in Turkey, the people in Iran, people in a lot of countries, people in China, the US and Europe have lost because I say lost, they've lost their or forgotten. Forgotten's a better word. Forgotten how gold and metals are used as savings. This is especially true in countries that are used to disruptions, whether that's the technology, they can't use a debit card, electricity. Their currency rates fluctuate often. Whenever they're worried about something, or not even then, if they're used to inflation, a lot of these people keep their money or their wealth, they keep it in physical things like gold or commodities. Got a region that is stocking up on hard metals, and it's not just Iraq. So I mean, this is like it's a cultural embedded thing. It's ingrained in how they handle it. You get some extra wealth, you're kind of afraid to leave it in the bank. Is the bank still going to be there? Is the money still going to have value? Is if the money's still there and it still has value, but I can't get it because the power's out for a week or 2 days, what do I do? We're seeing we saw this in China as well. We're seeing record gold purchases in almost all of what would be considered the global South countries by individuals. The other flip side of that, we see central banks buying gold left and right. About the only people not at this party are, well, white Europeans and white Americans. They seem to be clueless on how that works. We just assume that our currency is always going to be of value, always going to be the best thing in the world. And history will teach us that is just not accurate. Z Mikey, thank you for that. Very kind. I point on that one because this is fundamentals. The metals are fundamentals. To me, any kind of reset, commodities, metals win. And currencies of the countries that have the commodities and metals win. That is history has taught me on the fundamental side. It's about as safe as you can get in a world without much safety. Al Habusi confirms the interest of the parliament in following up on the performance of the central bank and supporting the independence of monetary policy. I'd link this article along with that inflation article, all showing that they need to be independent and stable. These are also things that I would want to point out before a major change, that this is what the fundamentals say. This is what the numbers say. This isn't for political gain. This is for the betterment. This is exactly what I would say before a central bank started making changes to exchange rates. I'd want everybody to know that they are really well grounded, really secure. This would be exactly what I want to convince my people of. Trevor, thank you for that. Very kind. Mass graves exhumed in Mosul contain the remains of Peshmerga officials. Well, officials say. They continue from ISIS. At least 24 bodies have been discovered in 2 of 3 mass graves exhumed on the western bank of Mosul, including the remains of several Peshmerga fighters from the Kurdistan region. Officials confirmed to Rudolph. Mass graves contain victims killed in the Islamic State, ISIS, during the group's rules over Iraq's second largest city between 2014 and 2017. That religion of peace, that mostly peaceful religion. How many more examples of that? How many more examples do we need of, 15 young women rounded up and killed because they wouldn't consent to being sex slaves? Craziness out there. Take the rose-colored glasses off and look at reality is what I'm going to tell much of the globalist world right now. Wait, Patsy said a friend of mine broke out in a cold sweat, suddenly went to the hospital immediately. They wasted no time, had to have emergency stent. Oh, prayers. Had John, the man, I like that one. Just send me the money. John, I hear what you're saying about metals, but how do we spend metals? You got to either convert them or you got to hold them as backing. That's part of what we were talking about Wednesday with Andy and then Zester. Blockchain technology, ledger technology is going to allow you to hold it and still spend it. You're going to have to hold it in some place that's agreed upon as safe and secure, transparent. It's going to be a really cool new world. It's going to give us the technology to have asset-backed money of metals and still be able to move them for everyday, day-to-day transactions. I can't wait to keep talking about that. Wait, yellow vests. Yeah, I'll break out the yellow vests. Glint or glint. Glint's a great way if you want to hold metal, in my opinion, if you're in one of the countries that has glint. Because it does. It holds your account in physical metal, but you can spend it like you can, I mean, regular Visa, MasterCard. Yeah, you guys ready to accept millionaire status? On my signal says peculiar timing for Scott Bessent to be meeting with his counterparts from other countries over his last couple of days, almost like final sign-offs for the weekend. I'm glad somebody else noticed that. I mean, Scott Bessent sounds like the director of the central bank, but he's Treasury. But he also sounds like a politician. Is Scott Bessent preparing himself to run for the next presidency or Senate or something? It's very interesting watching what Scott Bessent is doing around the world right now. Very, not in any way normal for a Treasury Secretary. Historically speaking, go through history, look at the last 10 Treasury Secretaries. What he is doing is very unusual. It's almost like their job titles have changed or their job description has changed. They just forgot to tell the public. Bernard, I'm so broke that I need millionaire status just to be average. Karen wants to know, today's the 17th. Are we expecting something big to happen today? I'm not expecting anything big to happen today. It would be really cool if it did. I mean, it'd be really cool if it did. But I'm not expecting anything big today. I do want to back up the poly markets and tariff checks. It appears that there are a lot of insiders that play on the poly market. They make some extra money. Would that be insider trading? Probably, but it's a bet. It's not a controlled market, so I don't know how you would look at that one. But the takeaway from it is that the odds of a tariff check, and I believe the number was $2,000, has gone up massively. And it all seems to be focused on 3 days from now. What's 3 days from now? Somebody, tomorrow's the 18th, Saturday, 19th, Sunday, 20th. So Monday, of course, that's also 420 day for all the potheads out there and Cheech and Chong fans and Guru fans. Some kind of hoax, some kind of whatever, because I'm getting a lot of static again on the tariff checks. I don't know if they're coming for certain. I've been very doubtful of late on that front, but the poly markets are starting to bet heavily that you're going to get an announcement on that one on the 20th. So just leave that one out there. Tuck it in the back of your head. Save that information. I am very hopeful that there will be some relief for the average person out there in the country. Let's see. We finished that one, the mass graves. Now we're going to run off to the Strait of Hormuz is on fire. Economically, Iraq's losing its main oil artery. Well, it's not as bad as some of the stories make it sound, but it is bad. They're getting into how important the Strait of Hormuz is. This article, I really brought it forward more for you guys to study for what it means to Iran. Marlene, thank you very much for that super sticker. You guys are kind. GA, going to be your birthday. Hopefully we'll get an announcement, or maybe they're going to surprise us and just start sending them. I don't know. Let's see. Market was on Fox Orlando scrolling. We get tariff dividends beginning next week. Frank, I started watching the poly markets on that one yesterday when it started to spike. So pretty cool if they're putting out articles on it already. I've not seen any. Phoenix Squadron, happy 37th, Phoenix. Net. So this is, was it, you guys call it gematria? I think it is the numbers thing. 4 20 10 equals DJT or DTG. Tongue tied. Let's hurry. We got to get to Mr. C, and it is already past time. I just saw the time, guys. I did not realize I had done that. Let's hurry it up from trucks to tanks. I meant to cover this one yesterday. Pentagon looks to automakers to rebuild America's arsenal. It has occurred to the Trump administration that they are getting absolutely raped, screwed, and bent over by the defense contractors. So they're going to go to more open architecture for a lot of the parts, whether that's truck parts, missile parts, etc. And he's asking the car makers to sign up for making them, of course, at a profit, just not at the same gross, obscene raping that the big defense contractors do. Do you know how big that is? That is being pro-military, but not corrupt military industrial complex that has taken over. And Trump's busy making enemies of the whole world. Well, the whole corrupt world, it seems. It's pretty cool. That is, wait, common sense. That's how it used to work when our militaries were, well, financially reasonable. If there's ever been a term like that one, I don't know if the FHA will be ruled out or not. But that is also part, though, that the scary part of that is transitioning to a wartime economy. Of course, a wartime economy makes one of the best economies for domesticating manufacturing. Boy, that's a podcast we should get into. All right, quickly. I know I got to go fast. Trump's blockades breaking Iran. Financial, they have gamed the finances on this one even before this conflict occurred. And it was determined that Iran at most could survive about 5 weeks with Hormuz shut off to Iranian traffic before an economic collapse happened. Just anarchy on the streets, the government collapse. Just this past week, what did they do? They blockaded Iran and the Hormuz Strait. This game is so much deeper than just mean tweets that people think it is. Trump says probably, maybe Iran talks to resume this week. Not sure. Maybe. Who knows? He's doing that on purpose, guys. That language is on purpose to keep them negotiating and to realize that if they don't make a decision soon, maybe too late decision will be made for them. It's brilliance. Baker's blessing. Yes, it is. So we're going to have fun on that one. I'm going to turn this banner off, and I really need to get Mr. C set up quickly. Oh. Yeah. All right, now we will be ready for the incredible Mr. C, the code man. Iranian foreign minister saying it's going to remain. Yeah, Iran is hoping that that Iranian ships will be allowed. The U.S. is saying, no, we'll board, cover. That's not covered in the ceasefire. I really think you're going to have an Iranian conclusion to this thing very quickly. Mr. C.
Good morning, Mark.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll. Are you upbeat this week?
Actually, I am, even though I get continuous phone calls saying it's imminent, but nobody's showing up yet. So, but I am still encouraged and very upbeat.
Oh, wow. On my signal is saying that oil has plummeted to 83 after the announcement.
Yeah, I agree. That's why the market's going up almost 1,000 points.
Now, Going to bounce over and take a look at that one and see what it does to metals. See if we get a temporary dip in metals as people run back to markets over the FOMO, the fear of missing out. Yeah, we're up 972 points, Mr. C.
Great.
I mean, we're going to like pop 50K possibly today at the way they're going.
Sure looks that way.
Yeah, I know that what goes up comes down. I know that it's so far overinflated. I know that, I mean, I'm like, cool, yeah. And then I'm also going, yeah, but what happens when it crashes?
That's another day.
That's another day, right? We'll worry about
Right.
that tomorrow.
Correct.
When everybody's wigging out over their 401ks, waiting for somebody to tell them it's all okay. See, gold's at 48.84, silver 82.92. So we're seeing them both move at the same time.
Good deal.
Interesting. Oh, Bill and Linda, that would be accurate. He posted, I heard Tulsi had a recorded phone conversation between Zelensky and Congress people telling them how to launder money back to them for their campaigns from NGOs and the Ukraine. Yeah, no, that's factual. Tulsi, I talked about it yesterday. Tulsi Gabbard has been on fire with disclosure very quietly. While all the news is focused on Iran, she has been dropping some mega disclosure bombs.
It's all part of the protocols.
That's a good place to start. The protocols and disclosure.
Okay.
What were you always told? What to expect?
With the protocols, I was told that that the U.S. would be the world policeman. Period. End of story. The CIA and NSA would be gone, which may or may not happen under Trump. I don't know. But pretty much there would be a climax in a international scene, which would lead people to believe there's a nuclear catastrophe happening or about to happen, and then all of a sudden it would solve itself, and we'd go to an RV.
All right, we're at that point other than sudden resolve RV. That's the part we need now.
Well, yeah, I quite agree, but we still have cleanup detail on the narco terrorism. Obviously, Iran still has to be cleaned up, and the nuclear dust has to be taken out, and a new government put in place. So, yeah, that's why I'm very encouraged. I think we're that close.
Real Dobie here, Mr. C or Dobby or Doobie. Do you think Scott Bessent will come out with a new currency announcement, or will Trump do it himself? Roosevelt made public radio address in 1933. Nixon on TV in 1972.
Well, remember, those were all still under the Bretton Woods in 1972. 1933 was still the Federal Reserve Act, 1912, 1913. So, no, they're just rearranging the chairs on Titanic. As far as I'm concerned, Bessent is not authorized under the codes, under the protocols, to make the announcement. It has to come from Trump.
Boy, I tell you, this is it's been a while since we got this comment, Mr. C. Mr. C, has anyone told you or ever told you that you sound like Newt Gingrich? We had somebody a couple months ago, guys, noticed the same thing, and Mr. C's voice has changed over the years. Stroke or
that's true. The 5 strokes that I've had have had a dramatic effect on my voice, no question.
Yeah, which but I've had a number of people comment, even like we're not on the show privately, where people said, "Are you sure he's not Newt Gingrich out there still working?" I'm like, I'm positive.
Well, it's kind of interesting. He's an historian buff, so am I. So are you. I'm writing a long history, even more detailed than I thought when I started. So it's getting very, very interesting. But to me, it's somewhat of an honor. Although initially I was not a Newt Gingrich fan, but I'll tell you, over the years I've become one.
Yeah, I did. And having gotten to meet him in life too, and conversation, he is far less RNC than people think. He is far more plugged into the history, the cycles, what's going to happen. He's way more plugged in than he gets credit.
Yeah. You really have to look at history about all this, because history does repeat itself because we're human beings. We make the same mistakes over and over. It's very, very interesting to me. But yeah, I think, no, it's pretty much on target, or very much.
Let's see. Give him a voice modulator so he can sound like Knight Rider. That would be funny. We can have like Knight Rider reporting on the RV news.
The hardest problem I have is to have enough strength to project, because I've noticed that as of late, it's become more and more difficult for me to what shall I say, project my voice. I cannot sing. That's gone. That's gone since '94. So it's very, very difficult at times.
Do you have a subject you want to cover today? Is there something that you think we need to cover?
Well, actually, 2 items. One, thank you very much, Lyman. I do appreciate your concerns, your thoughts, and your help. Thank you very much. Secondly, I had a question mailed to me, which I just got yesterday, with regard to the RV and the rumors that are outlandishly available everywhere about how much money you're going to have to give back upon the redemption of the currencies. Now, I did report a long time ago that as I was going through the book, it was noted that Obama wanted 36% or higher of a tax on the exchange. But it's become very evident. When you exchange currencies, you are exchanging a bearer bond for a bearer bond. There is no tax item or event when that occurs. It's just currency.
No. It's not going to, things like that don't keep governments from trying in the past. I mean, the whole like IRS thing, do we even legally have to pay those or not? And there's a lot of politicians, congressmen, lawyers, IRS employees coming out saying, no, you don't have to now. A lot of whistleblowers. And we'll see how this shakes out. Do we trust our government? Because no, we shouldn't have to pay it.
No, in fact, that was the 36 to 40% or more from Obama was really pocket money for him. That's where it was going to go. And the Chinese said, no way in hell, buddy.
Ellen wants to know your thoughts, Mr. C, with the new financial system. Do you think PayPal may be safer? My checking was hacked and still overdrawn. The bank said it happened through PayPal, which I hadn't touched. I don't know what to tell you. Any thought?
Well, PayPal is necessary now because you need a third party to look over the situation and make sure that your money is returned to you if there's fraud, which has happened to me a couple of times. I think once the QFS kicks in, PayPal may not be as relevant to the transactional operation of payments of money, receipt of money, etc. I think QFS will take over that job.
Yeah, it's my understanding.
Source of funds, use of funds.
Yeah, it's my understanding, people, that it doesn't make sense to have a checking account now. Fees, whatever the system. No, you can't have a checking account. It's my understanding everybody's going to have one.
Absolutely.
Let it shine. Do you think Nasera will be rolled out at the same time?
Well, absolutely, because they are the protocols of the Gold Treaty. They were included in 2013 because of the mess we had in 2009 and 2010 in particular, which I'm just now writing about, where Al Hodges, once we had submitted our, through Chris Story and I, we had submitted our my affidavits to the Queen. Al wanted to submit the CMKX operation to the Queen for her review and possibly to initiate a complaint in the U.S. in the Supreme Court to make sure that payment happened. Obviously, that did not occur, but yeah.
Cindy just said, I canceled my PayPal account. PayPal canceled mine for me after I sent through GoFundMe some money to a Canadian trucker for gas during that one. Now, I didn't even send it through PayPal. PayPal was never used in it. But within 24 hours of giving that donation, I got a notice that PayPal and Venmo would be removed as an option for me for life.
Well, just
but
remember who's
the transaction.
operation.
Yeah, think about, where did they get the information? course, they canceled probably 80% of conservative podcasters and truthers at that same time that had any kind of following over 20, 30,000 people. Many of them lost their PayPals, etc. And I'm kind of wonder about the ones that didn't. Maybe they're part of the, yeah.
They still threaten me. They come back and tell me that they've got complaints, blah, blah, blah. And I tell them to shove it. I could care less.
Bob said, is that why Iraq hasn't gone yet? Waiting for Nasera.
Well, Iraq cannot can go outside the lines with the gold treaty. They are participants of the gold treaty. There are sanctions, big time sanctions, should they try to push the, what shall we say, the avalanche. It's really up to the Golden Dragon, his grandson, / his grandson, and the U.S. corporation being totally bankrupt and out of the picture.
I guess that's kind of a question because I never mentioned his name, but it's probably public knowledge now what his name is. I don't know if I need to keep not referring to people by names or not for their safety, or if it's so far out there it doesn't matter anymore. Sebastian, Mr. C, do you have any thoughts on the timing of the RV?
No, I don't. I know it's soon, but I don't know. And they're not going to tell me until they show up. Too many people are listening to my communications due to the chip at the CIA NSA.
Excellent. Just commented on Venezuela. His money's gone up rapidly, or buying has taken up all the lower price deals. The IMF noticed. The IMF has noted they're getting ready to be working with bringing Venezuela back into the world economic system. So that's like huge news for Venezuela. But you can't get their currency now at any kind of reasonable price, anything close to what it actually is worth.
Right. The only Roy Obbs who has a good question with regard to Rove and G.W. Bush endorsing Cronin. Cronin is a rhino. He worked with senior inspector who both worked for, obviously they worked for senior. And so did Rove. Rove was a bad guy.
Was he? I mean, that's what I've always wondered as I've read different statements he's made. Some of them have made, to me, very good foreign policy sense, and others have been almost canned out of Bibi Netanyahu's arsenal.
I'm not sure about
or Kissinger's
Netanyahu, but I'll tell you, Rove was very much in the depths of the barnyard pile, said that way, and he always accused Bush of. But Bush W. and his brother Neil, and for the most part, the rest of the family, except for Senior's brother, were out of the loop. It wasn't until Delmarva brought the event to, through not me, but through Don Brotherson, I'm sorry, not Don, Don Meadows, that W had something to present to his father. And that's really how we got into Iraq, because that goes back to what I published in the thesis, the dual use licensing of items, material, nuclear, etc., that was sent to Saddam in money that was hidden by Saddam for senior. And that was all one complete barnyard mess. But Rove was deep in it, big time.
Mr. C, with Trump signing the new treasury bill, how long do you believe these bills have been at the Treasury? Do you think he signed the bill, going to have Trump signed $100 bills? Frank wants to know if you think how long they've been sitting there ready to roll.
Well, the rainbow currency has been there since 2008, when they took the plates away from Greenspan after he gave them to Marcos to print his $2 billion plus money that he thought he was owed. And so, as far as I know, that money hasn't changed its situation since 2008. Now, whether Trump is going to put a signature on it or not, I don't know.
S-Foul, Mr. C, I heard Mexican cartels stole gold from Venezuelan mines. Is that true?
I would not be surprised. But then again, Was it ingots? Was it dory bars? Was it stamp gold? Good question.
I just, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but the Mexican cartels would have to go all the way through the Colombian cartels to even get to Venezuela because of the border, or go over the water. I don't know. I think it's possible they stole some. They would have had to have done it with cooperation from other cartels, is going to be my take on that one.
Given the propensity of Bush Sr. and his stingy hands, or grabby hands, whichever you want to call it, I doubt if anybody got control of the gold other than Bush Sr.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that one. Bush Senior.
He went to great lengths to make sure he controlled the gold and the monies and the platinum and the palladium. That was his thing. He wanted to be miser of the world.
Your weight of the world. What was that comment, Mr. C?
Miser of the world.
Miser of the world. Yes. Okay. Very much so. Justin Trump says we will get all the nuclear dust from Iran, and Israel will not be bombing Lebanon any longer. They are prohibited from doing so by the U.S. Enough's enough. Wait a minute. Prohibited. Trump used that language, prohibited by the U.S. to continue. Is that the moment we've been waiting for, where they pull like saving Israel for last? Is this where, I mean, this is surprising news for me, Chad. Mr. C, am I reading too much into this news?
I just find it interesting for the progressive Democrats who believe that Israel is actually directing the United States operation and policies. Does seem to say something very different.
All right, Mr. C, you're getting a lot of questions on Mexico today. Mr. C, thoughts? Why do you think the Mexican cartel is so powerful?
Money, control, military. It's in fact, I'll take that back. You've had Colombia, where the cartels controlled the judiciary, the presidency, the military, etc. Same thing happened in Mexico. So it's not surprising to me, not at all.
Chad
and the same thing is about to happen in the U.S. if we don't stop it.
I'm with you. Chad Warren says cartels are globalist units, not Mexican or American. Those drug dealers own many DAs in America, judges. Chad, I wish you were wrong, Chad. I wish you were wrong, but you're dead right. They have become international conglomerates, and many of these international conglomerates work with or direct different cartels in different countries.
And we're seeing that right now with the craziness of the district judges thinking they are above the Supreme Court.
Jamie wants to know, Mr. C, how will the public be notified when the RV happens?
With the EBS, emergency broadcast system, which will happen within 2 hours before or after or during their visit to me.
Well, we got a lot of people that want to know your thoughts on timing, but a few of them have gotten smarter. So do you think this year?
Yes, I do. It would not surprise me if it had to wait until July 4th, but I do believe it's this year. Obviously, Trump is trying to push for midterms for a Republican victory. Now, whether we have to wait till November, I don't know, but I do believe this will be this year.
Barefoot Gypsy posting I guess Trump is on a rip while we're on this show. He must have heard that you're here, and he's trying to take some of your thunder away, Mr. C.
That's okay.
Iran has agreed to never close the Strait of Hormuz again. It will no longer be used as a weapon against the world. President Donald J. Trump. Yeah.
What choice do they have?
Chad Cody. There are many more Chads now than when I first started. The question, Chad, is, are they hanging Chads?
That's a good one.
Hey, we're going to go back to 2020 for that. I mean, 2000 yeah. For that one. Let's see. Easterners are telling. Now I'm reading some of these, trying to piece together some of the questions. They got to make enough sense to me to be able to ask them. Another one from Dobby here. You've said before that the new Treasury is in Reno, Nevada. Are any other government agencies relocating to other areas of the country, or will they remain in DC?
Well, that's a good question because I see that Trump has vacillated. And when he initially started in his first term, he contended that the government should be dispersed throughout the United States. And now he's got his cleaned up DC and making it pretty again and legalized, with real police efforts. I wonder. I don't know the answer to that.
Mary, trying to make sense of, said, I cannot comprehend why the RV and the Sarah has to happen at the same time.
The Sarah is part of the RV. They are part of the protocols of the Gold Treaty. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
In other words, that's the process. I know we get confused a lot because we call it an RV, but what we're really looking for is a reset, a global reset of how our financial system works. If it were just revaluing a couple currencies, then Mary, totally understand. I would be confused too as to why the RV and the Sarah had anything to do with each other. But because it is a reset.
The RV terminology came from the 2007 request that I had submitted to the Queen for a loan of $6.2 trillion to do a refunding of the dollar. They called it the Refunding Dollar Program. But unfortunately, after that did not happen because they stole the money, in 2010, again, that came out with procedure trying to steal my corporation through Governor Rendell's operation. We find that the RV has become the reset. So what we're really talking about is a international currency reset.
Which is so much bigger. It's huge. I keep forgetting to, I forgot to mention this in the news. Peru, I had talked about it briefly yesterday. Incidente electoral en la libertad. Election issues. They have election worker that was caught on tape destroying 18 legitimate ballots for the conservative, or should I say the right-leaning candidates dominating throughout the election, late in the day of the election day, and then suddenly overnight, massive vote changes occurred. To say there's some upheaval and some upset people in Peru would be an understatement. The good thing is military and police are really stepping up and going after it. I would not be surprised to see a new election in Peru being forced upon them after the shenanigans that we just saw.
I agree.
It's just, to me, it's the whole world seems to be standing up at the same time or figuring out that maybe they've let this go too far. I am very, very hopeful. This one, thoughts on, well, are you as hopeful as I am, Mr. C?
I'm sorry, of what?
Of hopeful of just this massive change in the world, people standing up for common sense, finally calling halt on the BS.
It is happening. We have to wait for a groundswell, and that's really what this is all about. Education of the populace. How they got ripped off, raped, stolen, extorted, murdered. Yes, I am hopeful. Absolutely.
I like your word there, ground swell, because that really is why it's taken so long, in my opinion, is they were waiting for that groundswell, enough people to say we need a change. Otherwise, they would have resisted the change when it happens.
Correct, because look at what's happening. The progressive socialism, which is really communism, being reintroduced in the United States, even though it violates Code 50 of the United States Federal Code, to be associated with any communist operation. It's illegal. They should be thrown in jail or hung at the arm. Oh, I see they just went to buffering.
That happens for us.
Wow.
Roy Hobbs, thoughts on Pope Leo campaign finance records reveal that Pope Leo was a major donor to Kamala Harris's 2024 presidential campaign, has given money to Planned Parenthood, LGBT activists, and ties with whatever BO and Axelrod is.
Why is that surprising? The Vatican Bank had their own Federal Reserve Bank inside it. They were part parcel to the fraud and to the criminal attempted criminal takeover of the world. So I don't doubt that at all.
Chef Patriot did bring up one on that front when we talked about Treasury moving to Nevada, possibly. Chef Patriot, whatever happened to the Obama's new White House in the Ozarks? We heard rumors it was going to be in Texas. We heard rumors that they were going to move the capital out of DC. Any thoughts on any of that? Or did they finally decide, hey, let's just clean it up?
I don't think the Bushes would have allowed it in Texas, period. End of story. He was a cutout put in place by Bush Sr. And that was actually that was evidence to me in the mid early 2000s when I started talking with some of the MI6 operators in the UK after dealing with Chris. And so it's not surprising. But if you look at what Obama has put up in Chicago, it's an obelisk to nothing. And it's very interesting to me. That's what he thinks of America.
I don't even want to get into that part of it. It makes me sick. Kay wants to know, when the Chinese folk come to Mr. C, won't his neighbors see him?
Absolutely. I expect a lot of military here.
You really, once that happens, Mr. C, you really can't stay living there. In my opinion, once that level of scrutiny shows up at your doorstep and that change occurs and the dollars involved change, you're going to have to change your life.
Yeah, we've been thinking about that a lot. My wife is making plans already into what she wants to do. But I tell you, it's so, for me, it's difficult to think about that leap because there's so much that has to be done now that I can't get into that thought process of what next because it's been 36 years I've been waiting. So I really can't put my life on hold.
No, God, no.
Come up with a plan for what happens afterwards. But yeah, I quite agree. It's gonna be a major change.
I wish I would have realized that much sooner in this journey. I have fewer gray hairs, fewer sleepless nights.
I would have had fewer strokes, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, let's see.
We're back to buffering.
Are we buffering again?
Absolutely.
Let's see. Reference, DC's on foreign land. How and when did that happen?
Under Bush W, he made his ranch and also parts of DC international territory by decree, basically. And it's not surprising because in the prosperity programs, you had to sign the documents in an international zone. And that's why DC was made one. Parts of New York City are also international zones.
Airports, international zones, international airports. Let's see. Will you go into hiding for a little while?
Not to my knowledge. No matter what I do, it's going to be ripple effect everywhere, and people are going to know it. I don't see how I could possibly go into hiding.
Wouldn't Mr. C live on a military base for a bit after?
I'm not quite sure about that. I will have a lot of security because if you look at what's going on, when this happens, the minimum that we'll get is $7 trillion coming from a gold certificate made out by the Golden Dragon in 2019. So automatically, and I was told by Interpol, I will have my own security, which will be from them until I get myself on my own feet. It's aircraft, security, location-wise. I'm really not worried about it. It was funny. I was at my doctor's office on Wednesday, and he was pounding me with questions about, am I afraid of this or am I afraid of that? I said, no, I'm not, because I've already been there and done that. I've already told the guy who could have killed me many times to shove it up his butt when he wanted me to work for him. We're using my own companies. So, no, I'm not afraid.
Yeah, at some point, the threats don't matter anymore.
Correct.
You just get to the point where you're just bulletproof to them because you're like, all right, freaking kill me. I'm not going to live in this world anymore.
And he found that after I published the thesis in basically 2002 through Mercius, that he couldn't touch me without causing a great scandal internationally because of what he said and wrote and verified in the thesis.
I just noticed time, Mr. C. I get just carried away of late with you on Fridays. Frank wants to know though, if you're going to come join us on the podcast after this goes, are you still going to be willing to come talk to us?
Yes, I am. At that point, I will have a book for publishment or published or in the process of being published. And yes, I will. At that point, there'll no longer be a need for security and such.
All right. Yeah. Before we get to have some fun with the gurus, I kind of do want to part with this one. Jamie just said, my wife and I were talking last night about every time this has gotten close, something major has happened to stop it. Kind of scares folks, because they come up with these major things to derail things. I'm not as worried because I know worst case, this system can't go forever. It's going to collapse and then we're going to reset.
Absolutely. And the BRICS are trying their hardest to make sure this happens. But I think that's very interesting when you look at the behavior of China and Russia in particular right now. Russia for a while tried to support Iran, could not. China tried to support Iran, has decided not to. It's very interesting to me. It looks like the Moscow Agreement of 2013. Anything they possibly can do to solve international problems and make a glide path for the execution of the Gold Treaty. So, yeah.
There's still more questions, but we need to get moved on to the next segment. Mr. C.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I thank you very much for the opportunity to get on the soapbox, answer questions, good questions. And, every day is a challenge. Every day is exciting because we're going to get closer. And I really am encouraged. So thank you again, and we'll see you next week, if not sooner.
Take care, Mr. C.
Take care. Bye now.
Yeah. All right, that was Mr. C. Still a lot of great. Farmer Built, I am told that there is no difference between 4B and the general public, that they are the exact same time. The difference is the 4B group knows to go to a redeeming bank, make an appointment rather than just walk in willy-nilly and talk to just a teller. That's the short of it. We'll go deeper in that one in the near future. Birthdays, D Church, Phoenix, Marguerite. Anybody else out there celebrating, please sound off in chat and let us know. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love, make all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. To all those celebrating. Now, if you really want to celebrate, I know a guy.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, Matt. How about you? Hey, wait, Matt, you're the guy.
Great, Mark. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I know Lucas will be jumping on real quick, so. But
you want to rush to the finish line on how to get in there before we get Lucas, or
yeah, sure. Then he can
that's up to you.
Jump in. Yeah, let's get that all set up and done for sure. 100%. Okay, everybody. The CBDGurus.com, THECBDGURUS.com. And then when you get in there, you guys, you'll be in the site. Hit the wholesale button on top there.
Oh, no. Matt, I got something fun for you coming when you're doing this process. So we're going to go to the wholesale button. Then what?
Then you hit MarkZ wholesale. Okay.
Bam, then, I cleared the cookies, so the password would be asked so we could show them.
Okay. And then you put in lowercase KRAMCBD.
And I'm even going to hit the little eyeball here so you guys can see it. KRAMCBD, all in lowercase.
Yeah, and that's important. And what that is, you guys, you're thinking, boy, that's kind of a funny word, but it's marked backwards. So it's MARK, but it's KRAMCBD. So don't put the Z in there. Just put KRAMCBD. Okay, you're all set then. And that was the code I hatched before our first show. I think it was a couple hours before we went
Oh
on.
God, that night was a lot of fun though. That first call, because that was like my first time talking to you for any like period of time,
Yeah,
and
it
you were
was.
dealing with. He was like, guys, he was like side of the highway or road, like thinking of pasture, trying to get a signal because he was like stuck in a weird signal spot. So if he moved 2 feet, it was. So I could only picture Matt out there like we used to stand out there holding on to the rabbit ears, trying to catch our favorite cartoon as a kid. I can only imagine that was you.
And it was. I was when I wasn't talking. I was holding it up so I could hear you. But it worked. It was all right because I started out in a courtyard thing and there was too many buildings in there, and the phone would always work in there. But for some reason, it just stopped working that night. And then so then I had to walk about 2 blocks into this field, and which was fine. It was nice out. So thank God it wasn't raining or snowing, and it would have been a tough night. But it all worked pretty good, which was it was good. And
Oh
then
no, it was. I mean, it's been a lot of fun, and you brought, guys, hands down, in my opinion, the best Delta 8 product I have found anywhere on the planet, hands down. You brought so much good stuff to the community. We're very thankful that
yeah, I
you stuck it
appreciate
out
it,
that
Mark.
night.
It goes both ways. This has made me pretty happy the last 7 years. Just interacting with people, different people. It's great, and
Um,
that's the main thing because interacting with people.
yeah, Lucas, you're of an age where you might remember this one. When people used to do that and walk around like holding up the phone like this, we would call it they were doing the Lion King from the scene where Rafiki the monkey's holding up Simba, like, oh, trying to get a signal. I don't know if you heard it referred to that way, but we used to refer to cell phone signals because you're always going around before the Verizon commercials came out, holding it
Oh
up
my
like it's a baby
gosh.
symbol.
Well, because service was so bad. You know what I mean? It was so spotty. And, I mean, everyone did it, because you're like, oh, I just need to get 1 bar to be able to send this, 3, letter text. That was the other thing is that, people don't remember that, like, hey, you only had 140 characters, including spaces. And people are like, what would you do if it was longer? That'd be like, well, you send more messages, obviously. I mean, come on
Obviously.
now. Obviously.
Oh, but it was like
It
you had to
doesn't
hit
it
the
doesn't take
button
a
two
genius to
times,
figure
three
that out.
times.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I got so good at that to be able to push all the numbers. Boom, 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 boom.
I was
And you
better
had to,
that way. I can text without I could be driving down the road holding it in either hand, send a complete text, never take my eyes off the road.
oh, I know. It was crazy. And now it's like with the keyboard, it's like when it first came out, I was like, I don't like this. Give me my numbers that I have to push 5 times in a row to get the letter.
Of course, even when the keyboards first came out, I didn't need glasses to see it.
Do you remember, Matt? Do you even remember the BlackBerry, how small those letters were?
Oh man, I remember people that had them. I looked at it and I thought, I don't even think my fingers can fit on that deal, you know. And but I really like the beeper days, where people would want to get a hold of me, and you didn't have to be watching the phone all the time. And then they would call you, and then you just stop somewhere and where there was a phone, and then call them. It worked out great, I thought. Yeah. But nowadays, I guess it's easier, But,
Yeah, it is.
But the beeper days wasn't too bad. It really wasn't. You get
Well, I
a
tell you, you
little.
were cutting edge. If you had a beeper, you were somebody important.
Well, that was during the beepers were hot when I was just starting in the limo stuff and everything, So all your customers, they would beep you on that. Hey, man, I need a ride. It'd be like 3 hours from now, and if you couldn't get back, you would just assume it's a done deal. If you couldn't, then you just beeped them back and said, send in somebody else. So it worked out pretty good. You didn't have to talk so much, and I guess I talk too much now. I mean, when it comes to, I call Lucas or I call Scotty or whoever, and they go, "Oh, you should have just sent me a text." I know that's what they're thinking, but you know what? I guess I'm just bored. I just want to hear their voices.
All right. Before we keep going, before we keep reminiscing about the good old days, because I do enjoy it, Matt, we stopped here with the blue buttons after telling everybody how to get in. What next?
Okay, so then you get in there, you'll be in the specials, you guys, and we have a code this week. We have a discount code of APR 22 for 22% off your total order. And then we also have Boulevard connected to certain items in there. Not all the items, you guys, just certain items. And you'll see the ones, and you have to hit it. Like if it's what it is, it's got the Boulevard connected to it, anywhere from 2 to 10 on certain things. And then if you need any help placing the order, you guys, give a call at 612-412-8343. And then I'll tell you a couple of the specials. There's one I really like here. It's the first one. It's the 30 count Delta 9 5 milligram gummies. You get 10 Boulevard with that. It's $25. So 22% off. You're at $19 plus you get the free Boulevard. So you really can't beat it. And then the next product we have, and that's the gummies. Those are the 5 milligram Delta 9 gummies. And a lot of people use those. And I do once in a while. I don't use them all the time, but I do use them. I use pretty much all our stuff every now and then for sure. The coffee, the mushrooms. Let's see, what else do I use? The immunity I use every day. The Miracle Gold. Let's see, every day. I'm just trying to think everyday stuff. The soap every day, the lotion every day. So yeah, there's certain things I use every day. Well, anyways, the one thing we have is the little 2-ounce sample packs of coffee, mushroom coffee, and each one's got 2 million Boulevard connected to it. So
God,
if you, what's that, Mark?
I was having, for whatever reason, my brain was just kept going past it. I was looking for it, like, duh, it was right in front of my face.
Oh, okay. So we have regular caffeinated and decaf, and that's the only decaf coffee we have on the mushroom stuff. But yeah, so it's 5 of those would be a pound, or excuse me, not 5, 8 of them would be a pound. But you also get all the Boulevard too. But it's also a convenience. So those are good for 8 cups of coffee when you put it in your coffee pot. And then we have a pound of mushroom coffee for $32, and that's 10 million Boulevard with CBD or without. And then we have our concentrates, and the concentrates have 2 million Boulevard in each one for $10. And we actually have a lot of people using that out there to concentrate. It's because you can put that in your regular coffee and give it a little sweet taste, or without the sweet taste if you want. And then you got the broad spectrum gummies, and that's really good gummies, 50 milligram a piece. We got the 10 milligram THC 10 counts for $10, 22% off. That puts it down to $7.80. There you go. And then we've got the lotion this week, any flavor lotion, 10 million Boulevard on that for $25. Okay. Then we got the Delta 8, which is a really, really good Delta 8. That's because Lucas makes it, and it's good stuff. The rest of the stuff he makes is good too, but Mark's always likes the Delta 8.
I do that one because so many of the D8 products out there, and then I highlight it so much because so many of them out there are absolute crap. I mean, crap. So, because that you set the gold standard on that front, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and my neighbor will second you on that, and he, you and him on this call would be pretty funny. He's the guy who has the cane Corsos, but he's the way he gets a little bit more colorful because it's the only Delta 8 that he doesn't itch his skin. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah.
That's funny, Matt, because I've had other people mention that, but that's the first time I've heard you mention that.
Yeah, and
I've had other people say that.
I've never known it because that's the only Delta 8 I've ever used. But he says, and I go, come on. And he goes, no, man. And he's a connoisseur of THC, but he's also he's super athletic, and you'd be surprised. I mean, this guy's it's kind of like Lucas, he reminds me of. But anyways, he says, no, Matt, this is the only one that I don't get itchy from. So there you go. That's why I use it. And I go, okay. And then the Miracle Gold gummies, we got 10 million Boulevard on that. And then we got the super probiotic gummies, 10 million Boulevard on that. The double mushroom, 60 count, 4 mushrooms. And it's a good selection of mushrooms there. Some you just, it's good selection. I use that one, I'd say every other day. because I got it sitting on my desk, and whenever I get hungry and right around lunchtime, I pop maybe one or two of them. Okay, and then I got the 250 count 1 milligram, and those are sugar free. I tell Scotty to put sugar free on there, but it's always kind of like while we're doing other stuff. So I'm gonna put sugar free on there so everybody knows. But yeah, they're 250 count. They're $100, 22% off. Gives it to you for 78. Plus you get the free Bolivar, and that's a product that used to sell in stores all over the country for at least 30 counts for probably anywhere from 30 to 60 bucks for 30 of them. So that's really a heck of a deal. And anyway, then we got the chocolate popcorn, and it's got the Bolivar on it, 25 bucks for the bag. The turkey tail mushrooms, the matrix mushrooms, the pet treats down there. Hey, the pet treats, you guys, are anywhere from 20 bucks up to 50, and then with 22% off. So at one at 50, 38 bucks, you get 360 treats, 10 milligrams CBD per treat. And that's the leader of the pack, I'd say, in the USA on that price right there. Plus, it's a good product. It's not like a crummy product. It's probably the best quality product at the best price. You rarely get that, but that's what you get in that one. And then we got our cans of THC. If you guys like it out there, with the discount, that brings it down to, is that right? What is 22% off $5, you guys? Do you know?
About be what about $1.10, $1.20?
Oh, well, that's a hell of a deal then. Okay. That's all right. Okay. So yeah, about 380 a can, 390. Cool. All right. And then we got our 20 count 10 milligram gummies, our X-Freeze sleep. We got it all. Immunity. I'm going down the line. Miracle Gold products, high THC products, the big chug that puts it down to 780. And that's one of my go-tos at least 2 out of 3 nights now. Sometimes every night I put 3 cubes in there. What I do is I mix that. It's 55 milligrams THC. I mix it with the same amount of water. I put it in 2 trays of ice, so I have 32 cubes. And I don't use it on everything with a cube, and but I use it on my nightcap before I usually go to bed at some point, because it puts me off to sleep and I feel good. So that's all the specials, you guys. And and then every time you buy something, I set some money aside for the humanitarian resort that involves the Bolivar. Okay, and hopefully. Not hopefully. I believe in Trump, so it's going to work out. Everything's going to work out there. It has to. If it doesn't, I think well.
We have other things to worry about then.
What's that, Mark?
Well, we'd have other things to worry about then.
You'd have I'll probably be doing the show from the hills of wherever, parts unknown. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if I'm gonna want to live in a city if that doesn't work out. So anyways, well, I don't live in the city. I live outside the city now. Yeah, we're all city boys now, except for Mark. Oh my God, Mark's a city.
It's a really small town. I mean, the entire county only has 18,000 people in it, and that's in the whole county.
Oh, the one you're in, Mark?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty low for an entire county.
Traffic is stupid in certain parts of the island just because of the main road going through it. But you wander off that, and not a whole lot going on in a good way.
I used to hang out in this county in Minnesota. It had 1 head sheriff and 3 deputies. That was it. And it's a big county. It's called Traverse County. It's huge. I talked to him. I said, I don't even know how the hell you can manage the whole thing. And he says, I don't. People come to me, and then I try to solve problems. But yeah,
it'd be impossible really without crap ton more officers to cover the whole county. Bill Air Dave, Gurus, do you have a mixture of mushrooms without the coffee? And I immediately, Lucas and Matt, went to the 5 matrix mushroom. What do you think on that?
Yep, for sure. That's a good one. Plus the 5 matrix with the turmeric and the black pepper. That might be a little bit better if you What's that black pepper and turmeric good for, Lucas? You're an expert on that.
No, geez. Well, I mean, it's a really great boost to your immunity. And that's kind of why we put it in there. So the turmeric really boosts your immunity, helps with inflammation. And then what the black pepper does is that it just really bonds and helps activate the turmeric in the body. So turmeric does wonders, but when you add black pepper, I don't, it's like, it's like having a nice little campfire. It's really nice, it's warm, but you add some gasoline and it's going to make the fire grow a little bit. Kind of the same way. So the black pepper just really kind of helps just energize the turmeric in the body. And it just makes it more bioavailable. I mean, there's a lot of scientific stuff that kind of goes into it, but I usually start telling you about it and you just tell me to stop because you're just like, I don't understand it. Please stop talking.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No.
I try to go in depth, and you're like, Lucas, you're going way too in depth.
No, this was perfect.
So that's the surface level. That's the generalized surface level. But yeah, it really does help help the turmeric in your body, and it's really necessary to take both at the same time. So a lot of people out there, they just have ginger and turmeric or just turmeric, and it's like, no, guys, you need the black pepper with the turmeric, um, because I mean, really, it's like buying 100 capsules and only holistically only 10 of them work when you break it down because you don't have the black pepper to activate it in the body. So it's good to have both.
Think of it as octane booster for your gas tank.
Oh, for sure. And I'll tell you what, nowadays, I don't know if it's octane or not, but if you put in the higher unleaded, you pay a little bit more. I've learned that my gas mileage goes up like 25%, and I'm probably only paying maybe 15% more in money. Yeah, that ethanol is a disaster on gas mileage. I guess it's all right.
I tell you where the biggest one, if you don't drive often, ethanol is just really bad because it loses its octane. It doesn't sit in the ground or sit in your tank as well. You'll like real gas back when we had leaded, real gas didn't have all the extra additives in it. And you could let that sit in your tank for 3 years. Go out and crank a lawnmower or something that hadn't started in years. No problem. Now you let your car sit for 6 months, depending on which gas you put in. It may not start. Gas may be pretty much like syrupy water.
What's crazy is, Mark, on that, on just a little side topic, when I was in Colorado, there was actually one place that still had leaded gasoline. And it was like kind of next to the race fuel kind of ordeal. I was like, no way. So I was like, I'm gonna try it for the old dirt bike because leaded, it's like super high octane, like 105, 103.
Boy, your valves much prefer it.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it ran the dirt bike so much better. But what's crazy is it kind of worried me when I put it in. It's like dark purple.
Oh yeah.
Dark purple. I'm like, oh my goodness. But that stuff, and they're like, yeah, it'll never go bad. Or if it does, it's going to be forever if you get water in it or whatever. But even then, I'm like, man, why don't we just do this anymore?
Patricia's got a question for Lucas. Are the CBD, the no THC products, giving us therapeutic doses per serving, or do we really need that THC?
Okay, so CBD in and of itself does really good with pain and inflammation, and what people have been using it for forever, right? The reason why small amounts of THC are good with CBD, why we even did say the 14,000 milligram full spec tincture, is because the THC helps the CBD in the uptake of your 1 and 2 receptors in your endocannabinoid system. So it helps your endocannabinoid system uptake the CBD in that. So it's like it almost preps your system to even uptake it. And you don't even have to feel anything. It doesn't even have to be a large amount of THC to where you even feel it, but just putting a little bit in there helps activate it. So what they found is that when you have CBD by yourself, you have to ingest a lot more, like substantially more, for for to have the same uptake as if you do, even if you put a small amount of THC with it, just for the uptake. So that's the biggest reason that even we do say the 14,000 tincture. It's like, well, if I only take a quarter of a dropper of that, I don't get much THC. It's like it doesn't matter. Just a little bit amount of THC really improves the uptake of the CBD in the body.
Yeah, no, there's so many studies as to how much more effective it is when you're, I mean, some of the studies, it's as low as adding only 2 to 3% of the overall cannabinoids being THC9, but the uptake difference it's massive difference, and it's just science.
So if you do it, like let's do the percent, like in that 14,000 milligram tincture, which I really, really love. It is we're putting in 0.5%. So it's 0.5% THC to CBD. So obviously very, very minimal, but it's huge, right? Like, so that product a lot of people love, not only ingesting it, but also topically, because it gives you a large amount of the CBD for that, inflammation and pain without the high. But the THC so small, it just really improves on the uptake of it.
Bill and Linda looking for what happened to the jar of Delta 9s. I think they were 20s. Well, I don't know. I remember you guys having a jar with 5 milligram, and then you came out for a while with a jar with 10 milligram Delta 9s. You still make those. They're just in bags, right?
Yeah, they're just in bags for sure. And they, the reason we came up with this product, just the jars were hard to get, and it works out great. And it's, I would say, for me, the jar or the package, it's for me on convenience. There's no difference. I was going to say, is one better than the other? No, I think for us it's easier to ship for sure, but for the customer like me or you or whatever, I don't see any difference in it at all. I mean, the convenience of it, you know what I mean? Actually, I think even the pouch for me is even easier because I can just snap it apart, and then you just kind of put it back together, when you take yours out, whatever you need, especially that 250 one. And
Oh man, I'm waiting for that 251 in like 50 milligram, like 10s or something.
50s. Hey, one thing I want to just mention this, and then you guys could talk about a little bit there. If somebody was to get, let's see, take a 5 milligram THC, and then they took another one, and they were feeling like it was too much, can they take some CBD, you guys, to counteract that right away?
I'll leave that one for Lucas.
What did you say, Matt? Sorry, we just had an Amber Alert that just went on my phone and it cut you guys off.
Basically, he was just saying if somebody, let's say they take a 5 milligram gummy, they're not feeling it, they take another one, and now they're feeling it too much. Can they take a CBD product to moderate it?
CBD does lessen the felt effect of THC. So that's the other reason, like in the 14,000, we do the high CBD and low THC, is because CBD will actually interact with the same receptor as THC. So if you overload your system with CBD, that's why, like, when you have a product that's say 50 milligrams CBD and 5 milligrams THC, the effect is going to be less than 5 CBD and 5 THC. Same amount of THC, lessen the strength of the CBD, and the felt effect of the THC high will be higher, because CBD interacts, and if you overload it, then the THC can't interact and all that. The problem is once you take that, Matt, and once you have already interacted your system with the THC,
it's already hit the receptors.
Exactly. So actually, you're going to lessen the ability for the CBD to hit the receptors. So it's not, you can't do it after the fact. It doesn't really work in that way.
It was worth the education. That's one thing I love about when you guys are on. I learned so much. D in South Carolina wants to know if you have any plans to include maitake and shiitake mushrooms in any of your lineups. She'd be very interested.
Yeah, I've actually looked at doing the capsules next time. So we did this round or the last round. Gosh, it's been a month or two of the 5 mushroom matrix capsules. And what we may do next time is do 7 and include. I was actually initially going to do 6 and just to do the shiitake. There's maitake, and actually there is a new one that I'm not even going to bring up yet because it's in the works. There's actually a new one out there that hasn't really, probably only maybe a month or two old, that people are finding a lot of benefits with, kind of on the same level as lion's mane,
Hmm.
but works really, really well. So I'm going to be introducing that here in a little bit.
Linda A. Rob, do you have anything for tremors? Boy, I know we've had fun with this one in the past.
Yeah, I mean, there is so much. I mean, guys, just go on and YouTube or check some videos out. There are tons of people that struggle with tremors, and they obviously under medical supervision, they do THC and have had great success. But again, depending on what the tremors are, how strong they are, where they've come from, it really needs managed and monitored under medical supervision with the THC, because it's not just about the THC, but it's about the dosing.
Uh,
And so if you take too much, it won't necessarily help as much, from what I understand. But getting that dose correct and perfect is where it's kind of at. So that's why it's really important to work with a medical professional that you trust.
and on that front, guys, all I did while he was talking, I just went right over to YouTube and typed in CBD for tremors. We got doctor research effects on cannabis on essential tremors, CBD oil, news stations, doctors, Dr. Eric Berg. I mean, videos of individuals, what they're going through and the difference it makes. That one video right there is just the gentleman with Parkinson's, and the difference is just life changing.
Yeah, I got a buddy who's got bad tremors. He's an old wrestler, and he takes like if he quits taking them for just like a week, not even that, 4 days, he starts like shaking again. And as long as he's taking a bunch of our products, you guys, I'm not even sure which one sometimes because he's got so many of them. His tremors are pretty much gone. Does that make sense, you guys?
Does to me.
Lucas?
That he takes what?
Well, he's probably got about 15 of our products, and he takes them, when you have that many, you don't take everything every day. But if he was to quit taking them, like sometimes he'll leave town or something and just forget everything at home for 4 or 5 days. And he says he starts shaking more.
Well, and it just
And,
depends what it is, right? Because maybe if he stopped taking 5 of those products, he would still be fine.
oh,
But it really just depends on which ones he's taking, and like I'm big on methodical, only change one variable at a time,
Yep.
things like that. So I don't like doing, it's like, oh, I have this problem, so I'm going to start taking 30 things all at once. It's like, no, take one, for a little bit, for a few days or weeks, and then, maybe add in something else and do it slowly, do it methodical. And that way you can find out, what your body, or what works for you.
Uh,
okay. That makes sense.
it had some suggestions in there to add some CBD to your 5 matrix mushroom. Would there be a benefit, not a benefit that you can think of, guys?
Lucas?
Let me look at this. Oh, you didn't pull it up.
Oh, no. Talking about adding some CBD to, say, your 5 matrix mushroom mix. Would there be like a health benefit that you could foresee?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that do the mushrooms also add the CBD. So when you help with, and you're trying to boost your kind of your brain with the lion's mane, as well as your immunity with, say, the reishi and the turkey tail, a lot of it is inflammation. So not only are you helping that, but adding the CBD helps the inflammation as well. So, but why we like to separate the products and not add everything in is so that people can custom, kind of make their, kind of their daily routine as they see fit. Because a lot of people don't want the cannabinoids or want the CBD; they just want the mushrooms, and that's why we also did the coffee with and without CBD. Is it beneficial? Yeah, but some people are like, no, I just want the mushrooms, because some people are like, well, I take the 14,000 or the gummies separate. So I don't want to add any more CBD into my current diet, my regiment. So it allows people to have a little bit more of a custom approach to this.
I see somebody asking for the ATB child trafficking ring links, Old Stokes. It's in the link tree. The link tree link. It's got. I mean, it'll take you right to Matt, Miles Franklin, all the most Dr. Scott, all of your major links. 95% of the ones from the shows in the link tree. You'll find it in the description of the video, and I'll share it. Just look for one that says link tree. It'll be 30 seconds from now, but you can find it there. You can also find Matt and those guys. It makes it really easy to find them. For all of your CBD viewing pleasures. I didn't mean to switch it on that one. I hit the wrong button. It's, I think about the difference in health. How many more people taking control of their health since that farm bill in the first Trump presidency? How much has this world changed? What people take? It's gotten a little less toxic, I think.
I think so. I mean, I've never seen products that can just help people like sometimes overnight. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really has been. It's made massive changes in my world. Bella Boo, who do we contact to get our questions answered on CBD and those guys? They've got a great number right here, over here, where you can get your questions answered. 612-412-8343. If you don't get an answer, you can always text it and wait for them to respond, so you don't have to sit there and wonder.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is my go-to is the AI stuff, you guys. And I'm not saying we won't answer questions, but man, I can get anything answered in there. And you just put in your question. What does CBD do to I don't know, any disease you want, and something will pop up and you start reading. I mean, don't take the first couple lines for gospel, but just kind of study it a little bit. And I go into AI and I get an answer now in 15 seconds on anything almost. And then you got
it's both a huge bonus and a crutch, I'm afraid. But it's effective if you use it. Yeah,
for sure. And I think it's hard on the general college graduates too, because it pretty much replaces them, and it doesn't have to spend 80 grand for an education. But
yeah, Lucas, you could use AI to replace your employees too. Wouldn't it be nice?
Well, I think it does.
A lot of them, white collar, middle management, so many just not needed anymore. There are law offices out there already cutting, because they got AIs that are tweaked specifically for legal. They're cutting, staffs by like 50% and more, because they just don't need them.
We've talked about the vocational stuff before, Mark, and I put something in AI yesterday. I said, if you had a vocational field you could go into and start making money right out of high school, which you can in Minnesota. You can actually go to the VOTEC the last 2 years in high school instead of going to regular school and get degrees and all kinds of stuff, car mechanics, electrician, carpenter, and all that. So when you're 19, you can hit the road working. And AI said that if you do that, your average salary is going to be about $70,000 a year for 5 years instead of going to college. I mean, that's the deal right there. And that's a tough one for if you're going to go to college. It's a big decision. When I went, and probably you guys went, not probably, you guys went, it was just a thing to do. I mean, it was kind of a safe bet to go to college, but now it isn't anymore. And it's really, you got to know what you're doing. Now, if you're a doctor, but then again, AI takes the doctor stuff away too, as long as you.
At some point, that's what I don't think a lot of people like going medicine. Technology at some point is going to wreck the number of doctors and et cetera needed.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
that's even if we don't get a med bed soon.
Oh, the med beds? It would.
I mean, that would, but I mean, even just like device makers, different testing, you'll be able to have, maybe a breathalyzer that for your phone that will analyze your health. Instead of the little blood sugar prick, it'll be one for your overall health, and it'll do your labs right there on your probably your cell phone. It'll start. Machines will be in doctors' offices, and then they'll roll out to the people. And sooner or later, you'll just pop down to a local phone booth that's actually a medical bay and get things taken care of without having to see anybody or wait in line. They'll probably have units at the mall where you can just stop in. Man, I'm not feeling great. I need to go to the mall and pick something up, or I need to go to the grocery store and pick up a gallon of milk. Bam, I pop in there, get fixed up, and then grab my milk and go home.
Yeah, I went into AI and I said, how many blacksmiths was there at its heyday? And there was about 20,000, but the population was probably only about a third of what not even that, probably a fifth or a quarter of what it is now. And then there's 1,000 now in the U.S. So, but then it took that long to get to 1,000. I imagine 1,000 of those 500 you really don't need. They're kind of like making things that people just for decoration, But now technologies went so fast, so now you get to the point where you have colleges, like I think it's 5,500 of them. I mean, within 4 or 5 years, who knows, you could be down to 1,000 because things move so fast now, and you get the answers of what the conclusion is going to be of going here or going there in your life. And I was just talking to a guy who worked at a college last night he was there over 30 years. And he said, yeah, that college is, they're going to knock down all the housing, he said, because it's in a metro area. And then sell the property to apartment and condo makers. And then it's going to become a commuter college. And it was, but the next step after that is totally online. That's probably what the college is looking at. So it's amazing. Things are moving so fast out there, and you just got to make the right moves. And if you don't, you just be kind of left behind. So anyways.
PAB looking for the water soluble product, wants to know if it's been discontinued.
Yeah, we don't have that anymore, but if you need a water soluble product, you can get it in our cans. And
I was gonna say that can, when you first came out, wasn't it 50 some milligrams in your water soluble bottle? You got that much in that can?
Yeah, we do. And I just I don't know. It was me. I made the decision to do it. It was I guess it was, well, I'm not going to say it was Lucas. It was me, because I thought it would be easier, and truly it wasn't. You look at your products that you sell and everything, and I think it's a cool product and everything, but we really didn't sell a lot of it. And now the cans, they sell a lot faster, and which I thought would happen. And not that I'm always right, because ask Lucas, I'm not, for sure, because he always tells me I'm not. But right, Lucas?
Oh boy.
Oh well, you said something about me earlier, so come on now. No, I'm
No,
just
it's
kidding.
fine. It's fine. I just,
No.
I can take a few punches.
I know you can. I'm just kidding. I could care less. But it. I don't know. What more can I say about that water soluble, Lucas? I don't really. Can you add
No,
anything to
I
it?
think the cans are a great delivery system. They taste good.
They're
They
quick.
work well, and each can has 10 milligrams. So,
That's the small cans. That's even if you're not getting that 55 milligram big
oh
gulp.
my gosh, that 55 can is ridiculous.
No,
Like,
but Lucas,
please
you gotta
don't,
do it
like,
right.
just,
You gotta mix it with things, and especially coming up in
yeah.
summer.
Matt, your suggested mixer of Tito's is probably not the best idea. No, I'm just kidding. Matt did not say that, folks.
Nowadays, if no, I'm not even gonna go there in the college. I don't even want to. I'm more of an adult now than I used to be. I was gonna say in college, when we used to mix these big garbage can parties, and throw all kinds of stuff in there. These would have worked great, and it would have been probably a lot less cost. You know, a lot more fun too, because you could have did it the next day. There'd be no hangover. So that's the best part about THC. You know, you can get a little buzzed, and you get up in the morning, and it's like, I feel great. I need some Guru's coffee to start my day. There you go. How's that sound, huh? Yeah.
Mr. Bill and Linda, Delta 8s aren't working like they did originally to help with sleep. You know, basically building a tolerance. What would you recommend? More Delta 8 or Delta 9s? I don't know what everybody else has done. I know for me, that happened to me. I added a small, one of the real low milligram. I think it was like 2 milligrams, something small, like just part of a THC 9 to it, and bam, worked like a charm again. If you have a question, ask a doctor. Anytime with any of these guys, if you got a doubt or a question, ask a doctor. Lucas, Matt, what do you think of what I just said?
Well, what's helped me is the cubes. Okay, so I just take an extra of the cube. That's I mix them, and they come up to about 1.5 milligrams a piece. And I'm good with 3 or 4 a night before bed. I wake up in the morning, slept the whole night, refreshed. You know, I've always said before, if I take a Delta 8, that's great too. When I want to get into a dream sequence or something, I take a Delta 8. That's just the truth. And it makes me dream better. I remember better in the morning. I'm a little bit more refreshed for sure if I take some Delta 8. But if I don't have to get up and really rock and roll, the 9 is cool. But like I said, I like thinking when I'm dreaming. So, I mean, sleeping, you know what I mean? Some people just like to go to sleep and just, not remember nothing. I like to just like go on like a vacation when I'm sleeping. I have fun, right? Does that make sense? If you don't do it, I do. I know Lucas doesn't. He's not saying anything. He thinks I'm a crackpot. But
Oh
what's
boy.
that? Well, I don't tell everybody about my dreams, but I have a ball in when I'm sleeping. I just go on like vacations.
It's like going to the
I
movies.
just can't believe that you even remember them. I don't remember 99% of my dreams, even if I have them.
Well, I don't, but I remember them right away, and then I write them down if they're really cool, So.
Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking, I haven't remembered a dream in quite some time, but I seem to go through like cycles in life where you remember a bunch and, vivid dreams, and then other periods where, not really for a while.
Then I have dreams sometimes where I'm going on this route. It's like I lived another life in the past or something, and it's kind of horrible, truthfully, that one. But it's not bad. It's just not as fun as my regular one awake. So then I'll have dreaming ones that are really fun, almost better than the ones awake. So when I'm awake right now, for sure. But this is good. I like this part of the day for sure. But then the working part of the day, when you got a deadline and you're rushing around, you wish you were sleeping and dreaming of Daytona Beach, 1979. I go there sometime in my dreams. I'm walking down the ocean, just having a ball, throwing the football around, just, yeah. I mean, who doesn't go back to when they were like 20 years old or 25 in their dreams? I think everybody does. I hope they do, don't you guys?
I've had dreams when I'm super old.
Yeah. Ooh.
What?
Yeah, I've had dreams when I'm super old. Like
Really?
future dreams, yeah, where I can barely move. I'm old. I'm sitting on a like, it's weird, like sitting on a recliner, but I'm outside, and I'm watching my kids and grandkids and great grandkids, and I'm just like sitting there, like drinking something, like a hot drink, or I don't know, it's in a mug. I don't remember that much of it, but that's what I remember. I'm like, whew. Yeah, I have old dreams where I'm older.
Well,
But at least you're surrounded by family.
That's true. Like, I mean, it's not a unpleasant dream. It's very pleasant.
yeah. I think it sounds cool. I love it.
I do too.
Yeah. That's
But I'm a little
good.
worried about how his wife moved his recliner out to the front porch.
Yeah, I know, right?
I caught that part. Somebody keeps asking over and over and over about a dog bite. Go to the hospital. That's
A
what I
dog?
think. But if you got a dog bite, any products that help, I mean, Miracle Gold might help, but that'd be a heck of a risk not to go get it treated, I would think. I don't know. I've been bit by a dog at home, and I just threw antibiotic ointment, whatever, and kept a tight eye on it. If it shows any sign of getting funky, I would have been gone.
For sure. Yeah, yeah. Dog biting, and no, we can't treat dog bites for sure.
The pain, the discomfort from the bite, sure, lots of options there. Unless I'm just missing something, Lucas or Matt. You straighten me out.
Mm.
That's a dangerous one to play with in my book. And if you're worried about that they're going to take my dog, one, your health is worth more than that. Two, you can always say you were taking your dog for a walk and got attacked on the street. I don't know where it's at. Ran away. I don't know. Yeah, you hate to tell you to lie, but there are times where you get bit by a dog and it is not the dog's fault. You put yourself in a bad spot in a reaction. That's like jumping in front of a charging bull. It's not the bull's fault. It's like laying down on a train track and getting run over. It's not the train's fault.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's just, you remember, like, in Yellowstone, people would go up to like buffalo or whatever and, get 5 feet away from them, or a moose or whatever. And, the animal attacks the person and like nearly kills them. And they go out and shoot the moose or, whatever. It's like, why? I mean, you put yourself in that situation. You knew the inherent risks that was going to happen, and it happened. So guess what? It is what it is. You made a mistake, and you chose that path. It's
Yeah.
not the animal's fault. Jeez.
Yeah, they bring up a good point, though. If you say a wild dog attacked you, they might force a rabies treatment or a test on you of some sort. It's probably easier just to say, hey, I was playing with my dog and tug of war, and I was stupid.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's where I got my dog bite. Dog, I'm tug of war with the rope. I'm getting into it, and the dog's trying to keep hold of the rope so it inches up on the rope with its mouth and got my hand. That was totally my fault.
hey, how about hiking out in Colorado when you come along, an elk comes along the path? I'll tell you what, those horns and how big they are, they're huge. And I've had it run up the side of like a miniature cliff and sit up there for 15 minutes with everybody till the elk decided to leave, because that thing was as big as a moose. Did you ever run into any elk, you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
buddy
they're-
Ron Tonkin in Pennsylvania. Good, Ron's passed now. He finally got what Pennsylvania. They did this thing for for a while when after they reintroduced elk and they were getting too many of them, where like 2 people from a county could get an elk permit, and he won the lottery. And I was like, oh man, what are you gonna do? How you gonna hunt? He said, I'm gonna tie an apple to the end of my shotgun, because they were so tame, because they were so protected. They just wander up and eat out of your hand.
The old shotgun blast. Oh boy.
Just gonna tie an apple to my shotgun.
That's wild. But hey, I'll tell everybody get back in the site again. We're getting near the end here. You
Oh, I
guys.
just
How's that?
noticed, Matt, man, it ran away. I want to keep going.
Yeah, well, you want to.
I'm just messing with you. I
fine.
mean, that's up to you guys. Go ahead. Tell them to get in first, then we'll
Okay.
figure this out.
Okay. To get in the site, you guys, you go to thecbdgurus.com. And then when you get in there, you see the wholesale button on top. And if you're on the phone, it'll be right on the side where there's some little like lines. You hit that. And then when you get in there, you go to MarkZ Wholesale and you put in the words lowercase KRAM CBD if you need to. And then you're in the specials. And then you just, you'll just scroll down and just keep looking at the specials. If whatever you want's not in the specials, then you just go to those purple blue button things there and hit those, and you'll see the products maybe you're looking for, like different soaps or bath bombs or whatever, or the Excite products, the 15 milligram THC. Those have really become a huge seller. There's a lot of people out there that like stronger stuff, and then I used to think people that used a lot of THC were kind of like too much, but I don't know. I've run into some people that I don't know, they use quite a bit and they're pretty successful, in their everyday life. So, I mean, in person, it's interesting to say the least, that how somebody can use as much as they do and just do a heck of a job all day long. And I don't use that much. I'm mostly talking about Lucas. No, I'm just kidding.
Jeez.
I'm just kidding. Lucas, I'm just
There's
kidding.
a very, very, very large, very considerable number of some of the most influential people in history that were regular users and still accomplished tremendous amounts. So it's really the individual.
Yeah.
I know
for sure.
people that are useless that sit around and drink coffee all day long and are the laziest creeps in the world.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
everybody, and I love coffee. To me, it's always individual. It's about the individual. A lot of people asking for that K2D3, Lucas. Come on, when are they going to be back, man?
Oh my gosh.
What's going on, Lucas? I meant to ask you that.
I'm glad you didn't.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Mark. No. What's going on? Okay.
Yep. I'll yeah, we have a little bit of a problem.
Well,
If you want me to tell you now, I will.
No. It's no, we don't want to talk about it. We'll talk about
No,
it later.
it's not a big deal. It was hey, it happens when you have employees. This is how things work. It doesn't flow perfectly like everyone thinks it does. We had an employee that even though everything was on the schedule correctly, all the docs were there, he still decided to make it a sugar gummy instead of the sugar-free gummy.
Ouch.
So the
So
whole
you're about to have
K2
a lot of K2D3 with some sugar in it.
with some sugar in it. That is correct.
That's not the worst thing.
It's not the
most
worst
people
thing, but
aren't
it's still
worried.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
So you're making the
It's-
new ones, you said? Is that right?
Yeah, we've already
Oh.
shot the new batch, but yeah, I got a bunch of sugared K2D3. So they'll probably just end up going in the trash. That's just how it works.
Yeah, if I were
Happens
you,
all
I
the
would
time.
package them and offer a discount gumming through CBD Gurus, a big sell of the sugared K2D3. But you guys work it out and think about it. I think a lot of people would jump.
Right? We could even do it in the bulk and sell them cheap in the we just pack them in
250 bags.
or I mean normally they're just 1,000 count bags.
Oh, yeah.
1,000?
We could do 1,000 in a box.
Boy, I got
baby.
one of those one time of your D8s that lasted forever. It was the greatest thing in the world.
I'm just saying, I mean, maybe.
Come on.
Hey, Matt, maybe we could even do. Let me think. We could probably even do a deal where maybe we keep them in the boxes, and say the first 100 people that order can have a free 1,000 count box of the K2D3.
That would be fine. I'm just worried about.
Oh, my God. You looking at all I would do it. Please do. I'll buy them. I'd get them. You're getting loaded up here in the chat with people that are like, heck yeah, do it.
So we'll let us think about it. Let's figure it out.
All right.
This is
guys, they
still
got to do
fairly
math. They got to think through shipping. Shipping something like that's going to be heavy.
Yeah, that's the only problem is maybe we do like a I don't know. Let us think about it. We'll put something together and we'll come back to you guys.
Yeah, that sounds good for sure. I just on those, I just worry about people taking more than one a day because you should only have one a day, right, Lucas?
Yeah, they're just like one a day. But
it
yeah,
might
just something
be
to think
good for a
about.
soup kitchen type deal or something. You could just give them out there and then give them out with dinner or something.
You get a vitamin D3. You get a vitamin D3. I mean, it's super great because we are so as just a culture just so deficient in D3. We don't get it. We don't work outside as much. We don't get enough sunlight. Our nutrition is absolutely garbage. And, it all just equates to people feeling down. It's like, well, no, you just need to go outside, get some D3. And like people are like, I can't. We're like, okay, well, then you need a solid supplement with, vitamin K2 and D3 in it. So, I mean, it's super needed. I mean, I take, a K2 and D3 gummy every day. It's
I
one of
used to.
mine, and it's super
Right on.
needed. So, but I'm all, I do blood work and I'm also super deficient in D3. So, kind of
Yeah, I
needed
used to
on that
take one
front.
every day too, Lucas, till we ran out.
Oh, geez, here we go.
No,
On that note, I hope you guys have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. And you too, Mark. Thanks for having us
No,
on.
you two guys, I enjoyed it. Looking forward to finding out when the K2D3 sugar-free are coming. I'm just kidding. No, Matt, if you guys figure out over the weekend, jump in Monday or something and let us know, because there's going to be a lot of people asking on that K2D3, the ones with sugar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll figure
let
that
me like I'm gonna get off right now. I'm gonna make some phone calls and figure out how many we have of the boxes, and we'll just go from there.
All right. Hey, thanks for having us on, Mark.
Now, I
Thanks, Lucas.
appreciate you guys greatly. Have a great weekend.
Yeah,
Hey, you
too.
guys too.
Take care.
Take care. Guys, that was the CBD Gurus. Always appreciated. Just an enormous part of the show, supporter. Yeah, don't email me this weekend unless somebody's dying, or if you are one of the Intel people that work with, guys, you're always, and ladies that help on that front, you're always welcome. I appreciate all of you. What a great week. Huge anticipation for some things going next week. I did miss Craig, one of my buddies' birthdays. Mr. Joint, happy birthday, sir. Hope you have an amazing one. And for the rest of you folks, I will see you Monday morning unless we get breaking news over the weekend. Bye, guys.